Hare Krishna, welcome to Transcendental Thursday Special Association. Today we're going to discuss about Olympics. When I heard about this topic, Olympics, one phrase of sentences remembered. It was like this: if you want to know the value of 1 year, ask a student who has flunked in his examination. If you want to know the importance of 1 month, ask a mother who has lost his child prematurely. If you want to know the importance of 1 week, ask an editor of a weekly. If you want to know the importance of a 1 day, ask a daily wage labor. If you want to know the importance of 1 hour, ask a person, a lover who's eagerly waiting to meet his beloved. If you want to know the importance of 1 minute, ask a person who has missed his train or a flight or a bus. If you want to know the importance of 1 second, ask a person who missed an accident just by a second. If you want to know the value of a millisecond, ask an Olympic silver medalist. Olympics, France and Paris. Billions of dollars will be spent, 15 days plus. People, athletes, sports persons, politicians, media from across the globe will be there in the France for next couple of weeks, and this is going to be a feast for the people watching it on the screens. But behind this, there are a lot of lessons which we can learn from Olympics. The event, the athletes, the coach, and the event itself. Let us start from the negative or the realistic understanding of all these events. Human form of life is very rare. We get it after going through a lot of hardships, but without knowing the purpose and goal of life, whether who watch, whether who participate or encourage, just wasting their valuable human form of life. This is not going to solve the real problems of life. It's a childish activity. I don't know whether we can post it on a YouTube, but nevertheless, it's a reality. The human life, which is supposed to be engaged in the service of the Lord, asking the most fundamental questions: who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? Where do I go out after death? Still I have to die. Why death? Who is God? What is my relationship with Him? And so on and so forth. We don't ask these questions. We don't endeavor for this, getting the answers to these questions, and you just go on with jumping higher, jumping longer, running faster, swimming backwards, cycling, putting the ball in a hole, putting a ball in a basket, hitting the ball. Sheer entertainment. We lose the valuable, extremely rare form of life to all these things, and billions of dollars, hard-earned money is spent on this. Nevertheless, they do, because people are all into it. That's why let us see. Life is also like a game like that. No, see, if you take any game, say for that, cricket is anyways not there in the Olympics. Let us take football. So what is a game? Game is, or football is, kicking the ball from this end to that end to reach its goal. But to kick those balls, best of the players from both the countries, they work hard to tirelessly, more than 8 hours per day, and reach this top pinnacle of performance. and they kick the ball to reach the goal. And when the ball hits the goal, oh, they go, it's goal. And sometimes it's tie, sometimes there's a penalty, there's a stampede, there's a accidents, there are fractures, there are injuries, and life goes on like this for this athlete. But life is not mere such things. It is much more than that, which people fail to recognize. So football is, a game of football is just not kicking the ball. In this game of football, there are two classes of people. One is those who play the game and those who watch the game. The players play the game and they are in charge of the game. Of course, they are not in control of the outcome of the game. Success or failure, losing or being victorious is not in their hands, but they can play. They play the game. They determine the outcome of the game to whatever extent. But what is the role of the audience? Can they change the outcome of the game? No. What is their activity? They clap, they hoot, they howl, they shout, they support, they wear jersey, they spend time, they spend energy, they spend hard-earned money. And when their favorite team doesn't win, they express their anger, they set the stadium on fire, and they attack the opposite team, they attack the opposite fans, and there is a lot of pain when their dear team loses, or dear player loses the match, or fails to, sometimes who are victorious, they are elated, rejoicing, and enjoying. So these are the emotions which they go through. But generally, if you compare, life is also a game. Now we should understand, who are you in the game? Are you the player or are you the audience? What happens to you in your life when things go the way it goes? Do you rant? Do you cry? Do you celebrate like an audience and watch silently, not taking any actions? Or you take actions and as a matter of duty you do work? So life lesson for devotees who are watching this. Similarly, when you practice Krishna consciousness, there will be ups and downs, there will be crusts and troughs. So we have no control over what's going to happen. We just have to do it the way our spiritual master instructs. Ma manusmar yuddha cha, Krishna says in the Gita, think of me and fight. So our life should be molded in such a way that somehow or the other we do our activities as a matter of duty, but deep within our heart, we have to contemplate, think about the Lord, chant our rounds, and then do it. Success or failure, real success, of course, there's no failure in acts of Krishna consciousness. Success is sure for the rigid practitioners. And Krishna reciprocates to that even a slightest endeavor. Salpamasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Here, someone who doesn't win a gold medal is not remembered. Even if he wins the medal, maybe not so frequently one winning country like India would be cherishing a bronze medal or even a silver medal. For years together, for decades together, we were happy with P.T. Usha's 4th place in 400 meters. We are quite happy with Milkha Singh's 4th place in 400 meters dash. Samajh rahe ho? Even after so much hard work, until they don't get the gold medal, they are not actually happy. The whole hard work goes in vain. Correct? Of course, being in Olympic is a big deal. That's what people consider. But at the end of the day, when Yamadutta comes, sir, I have this gold medal. You cannot touch me. This is of no use in that sense. So people waste their valuable human form of life. On the contrary, a little endeavor done in Krishna consciousness is recognized and it is permanent. It's never gone. It's eternal. Even if you lose for Krishna, it's like Jatayu was a loser. In that sense, he couldn't save Mother Sita from being kidnapped by Ravana. But he still did his part. So much so that the Lord came personally and he left his body seeing the beautiful lotus face of Lord Ramachandra. Apparently, hero of the Brahman is Hanuman, and he's adored and respected and revered and worshipped all across the universe. But Jatayu, hardly anyone knows, but the Lord knows him. And that's what matters. Our whole running or jumping or putting the ball inside, whatever endeavors there are there, maybe different games of life, in all our lives and games and activities, our only purpose, sole purpose should be to please Krishna, work for Krishna. And you see, in before I started this session, I showed you a podcast of Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is one of the celebrated, crowned greatest athlete ever made in the history of Olympics. 4 Olympics back to back. That means 16 years someone has to work at least 12 hours per day minimum. He started swimming at the age of 10, broke the record at the age of 15. He was all his national record, his own record he broke in the United States. He was the youngest swimmer to participate in the Olympics at the age of 15 in 2000. And from 2004 to 2016, he won 23 gold medals. India cumulatively has not won so many gold medals. And together 28 medals. But for that, how much he had to work hard. 12 hours per day. He would not take even an off on Sunday. He says in swimming, if you take an off, it would take 2 days to bounce back. So you have only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 5 days. So he never misses even a practice on Sunday. That means he would not miss 52 days, which normally other swimmers would take. And in 4 years, imagine 200 plus days he would be practicing. He would be much ahead of his counterparts. That's what he did. His previous record by another swimmer was 7 gold medals. After 2004, he promised, after winning 4 gold medals, he said, I'll break the record of having 7 gold medals. I'll win 8 gold medals. That was his determination, and for which continuously persevered. Likewise, for us, gold medal is chanting 16 rounds every day. Following the 4 regulations, following the coach, Srila Prabhupada, his agents, his disciples, so that we can stick on to our planning. He rises early in the morning. He said, when I was watching his thing, one of the greatest trait of a great is that he will do something which he doesn't want to do it, and that separates a great from the not so great person. For us, every day to make it in the morning is a challenge, is a hardship. But if you do it on a regular day, for us to give attention to the holy name of the Lord, hearing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a challenge. But if you do so, for us to give 1 hour of reading Srila Prabhupada book is a challenge. But if you stick on to the direction of the spiritual master, under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, and take to this seriously with the help of devotees, in the association of devotees, then the real gold medal will be ours. The kind of happiness and the bliss and the joy we'll experience, irrespective of what is happening to us. That's what happened to Pandavas. Apparently, in the eyes of the common populace, winning the empire, getting their empire back, it was a gold medal for them. But that's not a gold medal for them. For them, gold medal was to please Krishna, to remember Krishna, to be in the association of Krishna. In spite of all those challenges, what kind of challenges they had to go through. Just imagine, they were orphaned as a child, as a kids. Their father was no more. Their cousin brothers were deadly against them. They were enemies. Their house was set on fire. Wives disrobed, given poison. Fratricidal war, 64 crore people died. Cheated in a gambling match. Usurped the property. Incognito shelter in the forest. So much. They had their sons massacred, slaughtered, although having Krishna right in front of them, always for their help. In spite of all that, their love for Krishna never reduced. So that's kind of happiness we should have. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. As long as we are in the bodily consciousness, we'll never be able to achieve this state of bliss. This is possible only in Krishna consciousness. So following this footsteps of Pandavas, we should do like that. And he goes on to tell, Michael Phelps, one of the greatest all-time Olympian, He says there was fights with sometimes with his coach, and coach is something he's transformed his face. He forced my mind to think differently. He used to always hear a song of one of his famous musician, Sky. Sky is the limit. Likewise, how his hearing of his music and hearing from his coach changed his paradigm, changed his thinking process, changed his work schedule. That's what happens. Shravanam is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. If we continue to hear from a bona fide spiritual master every single day without fail, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, that transforms our consciousness. After winning the 4 Olympic gold medals, he announced that I will break the world record of winning 8 gold medals, and he had to go through the painful hand fracture. Now all is best of the medication, best of the doctor said you have to forego this Olympics. If your hand is better, if you can overcome this, you can go for the next international championship. Forget about the Olympics. But he said, I have given a word, I have to do this, come what may. Then he didn't practice using his hand, but he was using his legs to practice. But he was determined, and because of his continuous practice, he had developed that realm. He was contemplating, visualizing, I have to do this. Hence his whole mind, body system was supporting him. It was tuned to that frequency. And in 2000 Beijing Olympics, he did break the world record. 8 gold medals. And he was doing that, his goggles broke off. And in swimming, when you hit, he was not actually seeing anything. It was trouble for him, but because he was trained in such a way, he was practicing such a way that he went on and went on and went on. And when he reached the final podium and final touch of the winning mark, he was able to actually see it. Actually, he was blind because of the being in the water with the broken goggles. It was written WR, world record. Similarly, for us devotees, this game is the death. At the time of death, when things are not visible, when our body is completely jeopardized, when things are not in our control, am I able to remember Krishna? You may have your examinations, you may have your submissions, you may have your projects, you may have your commitments with your family, with your children, with your offices and your own health. But irrespective of all these things, if you can persevere, endeavor, work hard to commit yourself to the teachings of your spiritual master, chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 regulated principles, attending Mangalarti, hearing Srila Prabhupada's lectures, reading it, doing practical devotional service, doesn't matter when death comes, because you have been practicing it on a daily basis, every single day. The beauty of Michael Phelps, he may be practicing for 12 hours per day when he's on the peak of his career. But the beauty of Krishna consciousness is not 12 hours, it's not 16 hours, it's not 20 hours, it's 24 hours. Because the examination called death can happen any moment. So we should be serious in doing that. So anything which is stopping us from reaching our goals, our determination to practice and adhere to the instruction of the spiritual master, kick them out of our life. Sundays was not a luxury for him. He never wanted Sundays, no holidays, no Christmas vacation. Generally, sometimes when we do go for Janmashtami or we have this long trip, after that, we come and crash. But there's no rest for such, at least. If they can do for mundane cause of getting a so-called gold medalist, what to speak of devotees who are persevering for overcoming Janma Mrityu Jara, the human form of is very rare, gifted. If it has to be utilized for such higher purpose, not for anything else. Even if there is a failure, you will continue from where you have stopped. On the contrary, Michael Phelps said, next life when he is born, if he is born as a human kid and if he has to be in the Olympics, he has to again work hard, persevere, practice to be an Olympic again. You cannot say this, in the previous life I had 28 gold medals, add gold medals of this life also. No, it's not possible. But on the contrary, Krishna consciousness endeavors, even if there is some endeavor, even if it is not popular or famous or recognized, Krishna noted, Prabhupada noted, Swalpamasya yasya dharmas trayato mahato bhat. You will continue to practice your spiritual life in the future. At least you are assured a human birth. You will born in a rich family, or aristocratic family, or a Brahminical family. But why should I waste that opportunity? Why should I take a chance? Now, those who are born in rich family, Brahminical family, even in so-called Vaishnava families these days, kids are not interested. Mother, father interest, kids are not interested. Why should I take a challenge? Like that, instead take a challenge or to adhere to the instruction of spiritual master and then do it, then see what happens. So just like he was adhering to the spiritual master's instruction, determined to practice utsaha, we should have that enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, nothing can be achieved. Even in materially, if somebody is not enthusiastic, he cannot achieve nothing. So what to speak spiritually? But just because you have enthusiasm, it's not that you will achieve the goal. Utsaha, dhairya, you should have that patience. I've taken to the process. It will take time. All these athletes who decide to be a part of this golden league of being in the Olympics, it's not an overnight job. Overnight, nobody becomes the fastest and the best elite athletes. They persevere, they work hard day after day, day after day, day after day. Michael Phelps was not made overnight. 16 years, 20 years, 25 years of hard work. In the same way, one life, not even one life, half of our life is gone. Half life, if you can do it for the Lord, every single day. And unlike this athletes' hard work and difficulties, Krishna consciousness is very joyful. Susukam kartavayam, joyfully performed, eating prasadam, dancing in the kirtans, visiting dhams, doing devotional service, being part of the association of devotees, having nice prasadam. What else you want? Such a easy process for the people of Kali Yuga. Lord has mercifully given. The Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful. Has given this Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada has made it even more easier. Just be in the association of devotees in the temple. That's why I said, why are we opening these temples all across the globe? For just to give people an opportunity to associate with devotees. And those who are part of the movement, so wonderful, so glorious. They're sure to get the gold medal of Krishna consciousness in this life. Just you have to persevere and just go on doing it. But after attaining a lot of gold, maybe 4, 8 and 2012 also, he was all over. And then Michael Phelps got into some bad association. He had a tough childhood. Parents were not in good relationship. There were fights, there was divorces that affected his childhood. He had some attention deficit disorder. A coach and his mother helped him out. And later, when he was at the peak of success, pride goes in, and he started gratifying his senses, started going out with women and others, started trying out some drugs, and he was caught doping and was put behind bars. And then when someone asked, how are you feeling when you achieved so much and now you are in the lowest phase of your life? He said, I'll bounce back. And again, he bounced back, and in 16, he did unthinkable. Again, he won gold medal. Similarly, all of us who are trying to endeavor in Krishna consciousness, at some point of time, we fail. We fail to follow the regulative principles. We fail to chant 16 rounds. We fail to wake up in the morning. We fail to associate with devotees. We make the mistake of committing offenses. We make the mistake of dissociating with devotees, going away from the temple, disrespecting the institution. So many things happen in our life. We go through these ups, mostly downs most of the time. But if you can take inspiration, these mundane people for getting back to their Olympic gold medals, and they can overcome their lower pleasures and work hard to be at that level of performance for some mundane gold. Just imagine how much eager, fired up we should be to bounce back and get back to our Krishna consciousness. So ups and downs will be there. People will throw stones, and you'll go through difficulties, but bounce back. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, just keep moving somehow or the other in devotional service, little by little. And when Krishna sees that we are endeavoring, we want to follow Guru's instruction, we want to somehow be in the association of devotees, you just eagerly pray. and the Lord will reciprocate. You put one step towards Krishna, and Krishna puts 10 steps towards you. And for those gold medalists who are working hard to get the gold medal, they have to really work hard. It's all on their own. It's their karma. As he said, no, to be in the top notch elite athletes of being gold medalist, you need to not only have talent, you need to have that hard work and determination to pursue at that high level. But here, it's not only your endeavor and your coach's endeavor. You have Krishna with you. You have Prabhupada with you. You have an institution with you. And there is no fear of losing. Because in Krishna consciousness, there's no losing at all. There's only success. And we are not participating in this. We are not running for this. We are not working hard for this. How shameless, how useless, how low class we are. And what is the achievement? And he had a troubled childhood. He wanted to be happy. After getting all these gold medals, he was depressed. He wanted to give up his life. He attempted suicide. Just see the celebrated athlete. And when he was going through this, one thing he did was he communicated, he confessed, he asked for help. That is the first thing what Arjuna did also. When he was going through troublesome situation, when he decided to not to fight. Arjuna, who was Arjuna? Celebrated archer, defeated Lord Shiva, Gandiva, awards and accolades. He was, I don't want to fight. I want to give it up. Being a Kshatriya. But when he was in that state of affair, one thing he did, which is an inspiration, which is the standard protocol for everyone in that condition to follow, is that he said, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapanna. I am a disciple of yours, soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me what I should do. And most of us, when we are in this challenging situation, we don't approach a bona fide spiritual master. We take decisions on our own. We don't consult. We think we can do it on our own. This is what we should not do. Approach devotees, talk to your folk guides. Don't fight your battles alone. Don't fight your battles alone. You have Krishna, you have Srila Prabhupada, you have devotees, you have association. Take without hesitatingly. Be shameless. Ask for it. Crying baby gets the milk. Shout. Kid, when he wants something, he cries. Woman, when they want something, they cry. Don't think that you are mirth. Your spirit soul, your natural constitutional position is to be subservient to Krishna, to be a servant of Krishna. Use that opportunity, and that cry is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada says this. Our chant of the Hare Krishna mantra should be like that of a child crying for his lost mother. That should be the mode. And when you have Krishna with you, you need not be Michael Phillip. Even when you may be Michael Phillip or Arjuna type. But just like Arjuna, he was losing the battle every single day on the 18 days Kurukshetra. But it was a timely intervention of Krishna which saved the day. And that was confirmed by his grandson Parikshit Maharaj when he said to Shukadev Goswami, he said, my grandfather was a small fish compared to Timingalas like Drona, Karna and Jadratha and other Atirathis and Maharathis. But he could finish all of them because he took shelter of yours, Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. So in the same way, life will pose a lot of challenges. We would have our goals set, but there will be a lot of distractions. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktana. When we are distracted by Bhoga and Aishwarya, we want to gratify your senses, we want to enjoy our senses, then the rock solid focus will Samadhina Vidiyate. That focus will not be there to achieve what we want in our life, especially our spiritual commitments and goals, even materially also. So for both material advancement, for both spiritual advancement, for both material and spiritual success, one has to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. If you do so, success is sure. Even in the material world, at the end of the day, going back home, back to the spiritual world and be happy eternally with Krishna. And that's what Swami Srila Prabhupada is offering us. Let us take this Olympics and their athletes as even if, of course, they are not our role models. Tomorrow they may do something else. But if you can get something best from these hardworking people and drive our hardworking tendency in the service of the Lord, that is glorious. Just like Swami Prabhupada was told by a librarian, Swamiji, why are you writing magazines, printing magazines? People will read magazine and throw it off. Better write books. And Prabhupada thought that this is the instruction probably given by my spiritual master through this insignificant librarian. So he took it in the strides. So similarly, devotees look for positives even in the worst case scenarios of this material world. They take it seriously. If Olympics can inspire us to our advancement and seriousness in practicing of Krishna consciousness, why not? Just like Goswami said, if you can pick up gold from stool, why not? Because gold is gold. So in the same way, if you can take some few positives from this Olympics and apply into our spiritual realm and kickstart, restart and fire our engines in spiritual life and reach our goal, that would be what my message for all of you who are watching this. Another point which I wanted to share was the scale and the grandeur and the majesticity with which the Olympics is celebrated. We should all take inspiration from this, such mega events of the world, and dream one day we should also have an event in which the best of the devotees from all across the globe will come to one place, and we celebrate Janmashtami in such a large scale. The whole world is watching, whether it is Krishna consciousness activities, Bhagavad Gita recitation, Abhishekam. We should celebrate every festivity of connected with Lord Krishna in such a majestic, grand, royal way. And for that, the money, the resources, the men, the energy, we have to get it, and for which you have to preach vigorously. Every country, we have to have Krishna consciousness centers. We need intelligent, educated, talented devotees to go out and preach this message so that the whole world can be brought together. One of the important feature of Olympic is that every nation's athletes come together on one banner and show their unique talent. The same way, of course, they fight in a sportive spirit. But if something can unite the whole world under one banner, that is Krishna consciousness. Because as spirit souls, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. And when we come together on this platform, that is a real unity, that's a real universal brotherhood, and that is a real happiness. So we should all aspire as devotees of Krishna to work out together in unison for such a massive scale organization. That would be a dream for all devotees, Vaishnavas all across. Hare Krishna.